I'll have gone for more with Chris Walker. That's why the fans love him. He's got to be the most popular man outside Carl Fogarty.
Yeah, he's taken over the James Whittam role, hasn't he, as people's champion in British Superbike racing?
Although he's not been champion yet in the British Superbikes, 3 times a runner-up. So a lot of work to do for Chris Walker. Neil Hodgson, though, my money was on him last year. I rolled that over into this year, and I tell you what, the guy's going good at the minute. 1:32.9, so the first sub-1:33 time goes to the man who leads the race. So Hodgson is building. Good lap on top of good lap. And really, Chris Walker can only hang on with the way Hodgson's riding at the moment.
That's great stuff from Hodgson, isn't it, that?
Well, he needs it, doesn't he? I mean, he needs that kind of psychological boost. Every time he gets on that bike now, having won that world round at Donington Park.
You've got to keep that confidence rolling. It's nobody just being a blip in the grass.
Well, we always said in this commentary position, Julian, that once he wins a World Championship race, we expected Neil Hodgson to go on to win many, many more. He was thwarted 3 years ago at Hockenheim.
Yes.
We talked about that before. He should have won a World Superbike race as long ago as then.
And the luck wasn't with him after that Hockenheim race. He was mugged by Carl Fogarty on the last lap.
Yeah.
And next week he bust his kneecap playing about in a motocrosser. That was the luck the lad had when he was in the Ducati team.
Well, you've got to say motocrossing is training, so that comes after under an occupational hazard.
Yes, I wasn't suggesting he was being irresponsible.
OK, down the avenue. Now, Hodgson in control as we come to Cascades Corner. Neil Hodgson looking extremely comfortable with this race lead at the moment. This is the part of the track that he's very, very good at. Along Island, down towards Island now. We're on lap 11. So Hodgson does seem to have some control here.
Keith, he's just set the fastest lap again, 32.77.
Oh, that is just going to show that he's about to stamp authority all over this. Ratshell Corner now, out towards Falstons. Hodgson leads from Chris Walker in second place. Still it is in third place, John Reynolds.
That's the question now, isn't it? Can Reynolds get up to Walker? Is Walker fading? Has he got tyre problems?
I think he's had his opportunity, Reynolds, really, to be on touch with Walker. And if anything, it's going further back. There it is, 1:32.774 confirmed for the race leader. Chris Walker grimly hanging on the National Tyre Suzuki behind.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, doesn't it?
Over Clay Hill then, out towards Druids now, where, Reynolds has definitely dropped right off the pace. Reynolds has gone for the discretionary route to take third place, a nice safe podium position for him. Of course, championship lead. Look at that now, because Hodgson was only 6 points behind Reynolds' time. So Hodgson will take over the lead in the British Superbike Championship if he wins this race. And of course, John Reynolds finishes only third.
Yeah, if they stay where they are, Neil goes to the top of the table for the first time this year.
Here we go. Oh, this could cause problems.
Privateer City.
Gaggle of yellow-plated privateers. And not 1 or 2 of them, but I think 5.
And they've got their own race on there, to put it mildly.
Oh, dear me. Oh,
this will wake Chris Walker and John Reynolds up.
Hodgson, a little bit slack. He should have been past 1 or 2 of them. Look at
Good
Chris
move.
Walker. Oh, Hodgson's got to go underneath him, but Walker's there. Walker's right there. He's got it absolutely right. Chris Walker cutting through him like a hot butter through knife, and he's going to be right with Hodgson. But Hodgson, whoa, up the inside at Island, round the outside goes Walker. He's a brave boy. Look at that. Now he's brought him right back up to Neil Hodgson. Now Hodgson has a problem. It's number 2,
Yes.
Chris Walker.
Oh, dear, that hot butter through a knife you were talking about there, Anthony Keith.
Yes, indeed. There's a few headless back markers that we've just seen just there as Walker came through them, round them and over them.
Yep.
Mind you, Hodgson, and that he's just managed to slow Walker off a little bit in the middle of that turn.
But normally...
Lots of power going down through the Suzuki's rear end.
Here we go,
Yeah,
Walker.
slipstream over the top of Hilltop, but Hodgson good on the brakes. You know why that was, don't you?
Tell me.
Back marker in the way.
Thank you.
So Walker, he would have gone for the inside line, I'm sure, but there was a back marker blocking the exit, or should I say the entrance to Knickerbrook. Up towards Druids now. Walker taking a good look at this. We're on lap 12. This is going to be hectic. There are 18 laps in this race to go. Here comes Walker. His challenge is right back. He's on the grass. Walker was on the grass. Up to the braking area at Lodge. Decides not to go by. Don't expect that to last. Well, on lap 12, we saw Walker cut through those back markers. Time to take another look at this. Hodgson took a bit of a tentative route there. Got under number 30. That was Lee Humphries. But he was slow in getting round the out. He tried to go round the outside, I think, here at Cascades, and then cut it tight to get back on the power to get onto Lakeside. But watch Walker. He's already got it sussed out. He's already under the 2 of them. He's picked up an extra place there. And then this run down to Island. Hodgson, he wasn't fast out of Cascades, so he lost a lot of momentum down this straight. And then we get to Island, and he's got a major problem here. He's got to go underneath. His line, basically, it's spoiled big time into this fast left-hander. But look at Walker. Well, Walker could have been in disaster area there, because if Hodgson had made that back marker pick up, then Walker going around the outside would have found himself on the grass. I found myself in exactly that position here, many years ago.
Many years ago. I was thinking of Aaron Slight at Phillip Island.
Well, that's because Aaron Slight, he did actually go down the grass, but I think that was more brain fade from the man that he tried to pass around the outside. Oh, we've got an off already. We have an off now. Now then, yellow flags will come out. That will thwart any passing manoeuvres that Walker may have on Hodgson. Of course, if the yellow flags are out, I tell you, that's a fairly serious looking accident.
I think that was Dan Harris, wasn't it?
It's coming out of the Fulton chicane by the look of that.
Dan Harris has parted company with his Yamaha.
Take a look at this again. It is Hodgson now into Lodge. Hodgson has re-established that lead over Chris Walker, so despite Walker getting a bit of assistance from back markers, it's Hodgson who's back in control, making that rear end of that bike spin there onto the start finish. So look at that.
Is that significant, the fact that Neil's got the back end spinning, it's moving around more than earlier in the race? Well, is that tyre going, or is he just trying hard?
It's a low gear corner, so they're going to squirm like hell anyway out of first and second gear corners. These bikes put so much horsepower down through a tiny rubber contact patch on the track, so I wouldn't be too worried about that. It's these kind of corners where you need the grip. You need to get the power down all the way down this straight.
Which Neil does very efficiently.
If you carry 1 mile an hour quicker through the turn, then you'll be 2 or 3 mile an hour quicker down the straight. And this is where Hodgson is at his very, very smooth best. So down into Shell Corner now. On lap 14, Hodgson has re-established himself as the man to beat in this race. Chris Walker, despite the fact he's making the National Tyre Suzuki squirm, it's not getting anywhere. Oh, that's a great view there through Fulton chicane. Gives you some idea of how fast it is on the entry. Oh, did you see that, Juliet, in answer to your question? Hodgson making that Ducati right out on the white line, squirm and shake as he turns the power on.
Does Walker need another gaggle of back markers to get in touch?
I think the answer to that has got to be a yes.
Yeah, that's what the race is looking like.
Oh, maybe not.
On the other hand,
down towards Joanne Walker. Look, I thought he was going to go for the inside line.
Oh dear.
That's a fast old corner. He approached that very, very quickly. Right down towards Lodge now, and this is the braking area that the do or dies will be done at. Lodge corner. No, I tell you, Walker wasn't even looking at a pass.
It's only lap 15, not lap 17.
That's indeed. Well, we've got, as we jip down into Dearsley, won't need to look at his pit board. He'll know exactly where Chris Walker is. He'll be able to hear him. Might be able to even smell him.
I'm not going near that one.
Into Old Hall, over our curb cam, down the avenue, little wheelie out of Hodgson and Walker there. So, Cascades, it's all a bit of a waiting game now. Chris Walker will be trying, surely, to try and conserve something for a last gasp effort
it's
on the last lap.
To think of Chris Walker doing that, isn't it, though? You'd think...
flag. That will be at Fulton's, I think.
That'll be Dan Harris's crash.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on that.
Not what you need in the middle of the Fulton chicane, to put it mildly.
Along the lake side, this really is a beautiful track, and albeit a very dangerous track if you don't manage to keep it on the tarmac. Up towards Fulton's again they come, into the braking area. Flags have been withdrawn, so everything must have been cleaned up here. And again, you can see Hodgson just runs that little bit wide into that first right-hand part of the chicane, and Walker hustles it through the turn really quickly. But the Suzuki, despite being a fast old motorcycle, doesn't seem to be able to pull out of the slipstream of the Ducati and make a pass.
It can stay with him, can't he? But there's no way he can get out into that air and make a move.
This is the worrying bit for me as far as Hodgson's concerned, because look at Walker round on the white line, the run into Druids. Walker is so fast up and over the hill. I remember he had a massive crash up there on the Kawasaki a couple of years ago.
Right. That's absolutely
he obviously
right.
didn't learn anything, did he? Now then, talking to Kawasaki's, we're on board with Steve Plater chasing Hislop up and over Clay Hill. This will be good. Steve Plater really is riding good. He has got to be one of the most likeable men in the paddock. Back markers I see in front of Hizzy as well. Look at that. Hizzy line right over. Hizzy, well, he's one of my favourite riders to watch. Not like that man McElnay there, Rob McElnay on the right.
Did he beat you once or twice then or something?
Yes, in his early days.
Which were your later days.
Squeezing through was Steve Hislop, 34 on Chris Wilson. So Chris Wilson gets moved out to one side by Steve Hislop. Plater follows through. We're on board Plater, going down towards Old Hall now, into the right-hander. There's Hizzy.
Plater 6th in the championship in his first year on a Superbike.
Steve Plater,
right there,
isn't he? He's going to have Hizzy. You've got a madman on your case, 22, Steve Plater. He's riding absolutely superbly. I really, really like Steve Plater. He's just such a laugh.
And he was pole position man last year at the Bol d'Or, first time he rode in endurance. So that told somebody he could ride a Superbike.
He's also one of the fittest guys in the paddock as well. He's sinew stretched over bone. That's just his head. So then, we're at Shell. Hislop.
I was waiting for your definition of Steve Hislop for a minute there, but
no,
you're not going near that one, are you?
Not going near the bonehead.
No, absolutely. That's a radical haircut he's got, sort of Louis Stanton model he has this year. i.e. no hair.
Holston